Shinzo Abe was basically a top 10 moment for this decade, probably even this century. Probably because as the 20s go on, it's becoming increasingly and horrifyingly apparent that we are entering an era of stagnation and we want to keep moving, but it seems like we won't. So the 20s are going to be a wild fucking ride. Even with that in mind, I doubt that it's going to top what happened to Shinzo Abe. Because that was just weird. A dude getting blasted by the doohickey, that is new and bizarre levels of tomfoolery and confusion for this realm. But what if I told you it was only the second funniest assassination of a political leader? Today we're talking about Luis Carrero Blanco, a man who actually died a Looney Tunes death. Now, before I go and I give you all the funny bits about this, I need to deliver something to you that, depending on how fried your attention span is, you may or may not believe in. This is simple context. So the truth is, this goofy assassination is part of a deep and complex wormhole on a Spaniard history and politics, but to give you the TLDR, a significant portion of the 20th century, Spain had a dictator. Dictators are obviously a group of right bastards, and so he was not liked. Also in this literal bomb cocktail was the ETA, a group whose name stands for this word on screen now. I'm not even going to try to say that. I'm pretty sure it's in the Basque language. Not my can of worms. Not my circus, not my monkeys. But anyway, this group of people was a group of Basque people who believed that the Basque people should have their own nation free from Spain and France. And they were willing to achieve so with extreme violence. Of course, a group of extreme and violent far-left revolutionaries mixed with a right-leaning dictatorship is stinky, bad, no good. So how do we develop this? Simple. They decide that they're going to bring democracy to this nation. And how do they do that? By removing the institution of dictatorship. And how do they do that? Easy. Operation Orgo. Operation Orgo was an operation set to assassinate the dictator's hand-picked successor, because if they just killed that guy, then they'd have to choose a new leader, and the dictator's already retired. He's already off in his little mansion enjoying the last years of his miserable life before the Reaper comes to take him. He must suffer the consequences of his own actions. So, Luis Carrero Blanco, the chosen successor of the previous dictator, is the guy they're after, and their plan was as such. The operatives found the church that Blanco frequented every Sunday. They rented a flat along the path that he took to church every Sunday, and they told the landlord that they were student sculptors and not to go in the basement. The landlord buys this, so the operatives then go through and dig a tunnel under the street and just load it with explosives. And when Blanco's heading to church, it's showtime, baby. They literally blow him sky high. There is this photo of his death. They blew him over a building. When he exploded, the car flew. Now, Shinzo Abe and the doohickey is pretty funny because some dude just pulling up with a homemade shotgun, bam. That's creative, but over a building? Blowing a car that far? Yeah, that's way better. Now anyway, that is it. That is the whole video. That's all I wanted to relay to you. And you might be like, oh, but Penn, this is a really short video. Yes, because they're easy to make. Regardless, if you made it to the end of this video and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because sometimes I find strange stuff interesting and I make a video on it. Also, huge thanks to the patrons who fund this whole thing. YouTube, is wishy-washy. Sometimes YouTube pays me the big bucks. Sometimes YouTube throws nickels at my head really aggressively. So, yeah, the Patreon is a great way to support me consistently if you have the means and if you'd like to. I also have merch and my book. Buy my book. This isn't an option. You watch the video. Buy it. Or I'm showing up at your house. Now, with all of that lengthy stuff out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Have a great time, and until next time, memento mori.